Good afternoon, Internet. I'm your host, AcePlace89. Welcome to Skylines 2. We're in Blackshire again today, and right off the gate, what we're going to do is we're going to expand this area in a nice time lapse. We're going to zone it all in, get all that sorted out, and then today is going to be mostly focused on this little spot right here. I finally have broken down and decided to do a custom forestry area. So that's what we're gonna do. So before, like I said, right out the gate, what I'm gonna do is we're going to get ourselves some nice time-lapsing stuff going on. So I will start that and I'll see you guys in just a little bit. All right, so we got that. We've expanded it out. I didn't want to go too crazy, but I like this little feature. I don't know why. I just like diagonal roads going through grids like that. I think it builds a little character. And I can see this area changing quite a bit, you know, as things go on. So that's one good thing about grids, really, is that they are very versatile. You can do them in a lot of ways. But now what I want to focus on for the rest of the episode is our beautiful forestry area. I mentioned in past videos that, where I grew up, forestry was a kind of a big deal down there, really. And so what I'd like to do is kind of lean into that. And it's going to look a little strange, but I think it will be fine. Basically, the forestry area down there is like really it's very farmed, farmed forestry, if that makes sense. Like pine farms, that are basically all the trees in the farms are kind of laid out in like perfectly straight lines, and it's really interesting to like drive past because it's it's really satisfying whenever you're going past excuse me, like a rows and rows and rows of trees. It's really interesting. But yeah, so that's what we're going to kind of do in this area today. So what I'm doing here is I'm just deleting some of these trees that I don't want in the area. And I did this on another build that I was doing just for fun a while back. And it seems like the best way to do this will be for me to place the trees first and then place the forestry area. If I don't want to do that, if I don't want to use anarchy, which I kind of don't want to use anarchy today. Call me lazy, it's just I just don't feel like it. So what we'll do is we'll grab Pine Street out here, which is incredibly fitting for this area, and we're going to kind of come out to about, let's go about right here, and then what we're going to do is we're going to downgrade it to gravel road, and we're going to turn off, which one is it? I think it's this one. Yeah, we'll turn off zoning cell length, then we're going to go a little ways, and then we're going to convert our gravel to dirt. Now I do wish that we could get, I might actually be able to do this later with like decals and stuff to make the section right here, the where the road goes from gravel to dirt, or from the alleyway to dirt, to be a little more gross looking, kind of more worn. So let's put that back on. And now here's what we're going to do. We're going to kind of lay out our road frames, and I'm just going to kind of go off in different angles. And now not all of these roads are going to have, not all of them are going to have forestry on them. But I kind of drawing inspiration from where I grew up, like I said. Pine forests all over the place because they're farmed for forestry and lumber. And also miles and miles of dirt roads in that little county down in Georgia. Thousands of miles. I'm pretty sure that's not an exaggeration. There are literal thousands of miles of dirt roads in that one little area. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do that. I like the idea of having some kind of fun stuff stretched out here. What we could do is figure something else out like this. Also, I kind of want to fix some of the I don't know, we're at this pond, which is pretty cool. I like the pond, but we'll figure that out later. I need to stay focused. I get so distracted. So here's that. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna use these road guidelines, or the roads themselves, to kind of like lay out where I want the trees to be. So I think this will be fine for now. And then once we do that, we can get rid of these two little forestry and these industries from over there. Because like you can see in our demand meter down here, we do still have lots and lots and lots of demand for industry, which is to be expected, you know. And then I guess out here, or probably a little closer to the main road, we can have like, say, let's say we have an office out here, and I'm gonna go ahead and do this as I'm thinking about it. So we can have an office building kind of on the corner to be like the main office space for this industry, and then from back here, what we can do is just have some actual industry buildings. We can pretend that they're like processing buildings or something. That's the one great thing about City Skylines too. You can get these creative juices flowing, which is something, I'll be honest, that I do kind of struggle with sometimes. It's like, am I a creative person? I feel like I'm creative. I like being creative and doing creative things and making music and writing books. Speaking of, I do have books out. They're religious in nature, but they're books. and I'm working on getting a second one up. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know in the comments. And while we're at this area of the video, or this part of the video, I want to remind you that feel free to subscribe and like and comment. I know that I genuinely dislike whenever people are like in the first several minutes of the, or first 30 seconds of the video, like and subscribe. But turns out whenever you remind people, it does help. So I just want to remind you, you don't have to, but it'd be really cool if you did. It would help out a ton. And also, thank you guys so much for liking and subscribing, for commenting and all that kind of stuff. It does help, and I enjoy reading all of the reading the comments. It helps me stay motivated. So now that we have this, let's come down here. We're going to add a parking lot. Get a that's a little too small. Could we get a modest parking lot? We could get a modest parking lot. It's actually perfect. How about that? And then what we'll do, I kind of want to add some fencing behind here, so we'll probably do that. But yeah, so we have the little forestry area over here. We could pretend that that's like I said, processing buildings and whatnot for this area. So let's grab this dirt road again. I don't understand why you mean it's... There we go. Why does that not work? Doesn't make any sense. But anyway, yeah. Clickety clack. Let's do it. All right. So now we have that. I'm going to time lapse this whole process because it can be a little boring. If I were to just show you, well, I'll actually show you. We're gonna do the line tool. Okay. We're gonna select the pine right here, this little beautiful tree, and then we're gonna choose our ages. Which ages do we want? I want these two. I don't think I want saplings. We could put, I think we'll have like a sapling farm, probably kind of closer here, I think. So actually, let's do all three of the, we'll do the young, the mature, and the elderly trees. So what I'm going to do is, I think I want it off this road. Let's just see how far our spacing is. It seems about fine. Let's actually take off the young trees. Yeah, that'll be fine. 20 meters, and let's just kind of do a little something like this. All right, so since this is the spot we started, we're gonna just do this over and over and over again until we're pleased with the results. So, like I said, I'm gonna get it to a time lapse going, because planting rows of trees is kind of boring, and I don't want to bore you guys. This time lapse city in this episode, I tell you what. So I'm gonna get this going, and I'll be back in a little bit. All right, we are just about finished for this bout of trees, forestry stuff. Oh my gosh, look how perfect this is. It's like a little complex. It's perfect. Not too many smokestacks. So we can pretend like this is like a pulp pulp fiction, pulp area. So that's cool. We also are going to get, forestry area. So yeah, we're just gonna work on little by little, probably through these episodes. We're gonna add some trees over here, probably continue working in the farming areas as well. But so what we've got this little entryway into our forestry area, and then as we're going by, let's get rid of this thing that doesn't need to be there. We have a field of saplings, right? And it looks kind of weird without any landscaping out here, but we'll fix that in a minute. And then we have these areas, which is a good time. But as you can kind of see, like, rows on rows of trees, and they're imperfect, I get that, but hey, it builds character. And then we have this little section out here. We could pretend that this is maybe kind of one of the areas where maybe they started the process, and so they're going to try to work their way through. I don't actually know how the industry works. I'm just kind of guessing. But so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to come back through with our tree brush, but what we're going to do is get all kinds of different flavors, and we're going to, our brush strength is fine, our brush size is also fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to come through, actually let's take our brush size down a little bit, maybe not to 100, let's get it to 200. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to sprinkle some trees in here, like so, just kind of around the borders of our forestry area, just so it'll be a little less barren, right? So what we'll do is we'll just kind of come over here like this, do this. Gotta reforest what we deforested earlier, because that's what good conservation is all about. So here we go with our tree brush, just painting it in, but at the same time, I don't want it to encroach really on the area that I want to do stuff in. But I do, actually, let's put that back up. I do want it to be kind of masking from the highway the fact that there's a big open field. So if we can get it, my theory is this, if we can get it kind of dense up and about the highway, nobody will be able to be like, this is city is like boring, there's nothing in it. There is stuff in it, it's just trees. We are fixing our trees. So what I like to do with this is I like to get, if I'm doing big swaths of area over the trees and whatnot, what I like to do is use the deciduous brush and the coniferous brush, or the evergreen, whatever, and just kind of come through and do something like this. So as you're coming through, it appears like there's a forest right here, right? Oh, that's a pretty cool looking little thing off in the distance, but there's really not. And so you're like tricking the eye, you know, you're tricking the eye. So before we finish out today, what we definitely need to do is grab the actual forestry industry area and put it down, because if we don't, then all of our work is for nothing. That's not entirely true. What we'll do, we're gonna place this here, and it will get rid of some of those pine trees, but that's okay. And then what we'll do, we'll just grab a couple more actually. So let's grab one, let's put one here, and then we can put one here. All right. Excuse me. So now what we'll do, we'll need to get the tree brush, or the thing, and we're going to just, like so, do this. And I'm pretty sure that there's an area of effect. Yeah, there's an area of effect that we can't go past, which is totally fine. It'll be about here, I think. Yeah. So basically what I have is I don't want all of the trees, because they will come through and they will harvest these trees, but I don't want all the trees, as far as they can go, to be harvested. What I like the idea of is some sort of kind of like making it to where they don't actually take all the trees that they can. So if in the event that they all just kind of go away, you still have like a border around it. Just honestly, it's an aesthetic thing. I want the trees to look good, even though they're made for chopping. These trees was made for chopping, so they say. I don't know who says that, but I'm coining the phrase. My papa would say he's corning the phrase. And it was really funny. Whenever I was a child and he would say that, I would be like, I don't know what that means, but it's hilarious. Alright, so we'll do this, and we'll just kind of make some fun shapes like that. It looks like Utah. I think that looks like Utah. Utah may be flipped, but I don't know. Alright, so let's grab our third and final situation we have. We're going to do the same thing, just kind of go over here. We're going to get as far down as we can. Like so. Like so. And now we will just gooch it up. Let's go about right here. Yeah. So essentially, I want to get as close to 100% efficiency as I can, right? So we see, if we click this area again, we can see in this panel that our efficiency, even though just this one little area over here, it's not as large as it could be, it's 103% efficiency. Now it's going up, and we're fully staffed, which is amazing, which is perfect. So I can imagine in the future what we'll do is we'll come on this other side right over here. We'll do some more forestry. We'll probably add a little bit of add some forestry out right here, but not too close to the coal mine. This area will expand out more. Basically, this whole area is going to be one big, funky looking, gridded out tree space. But you know, I mean, it's fine. It's okay. So we're going to come over here and just kind of, we're going to do this. That's the thumbnail cover for the episode this week. So much, you know what I want to think. I want to do so much. I'm just kind of rambling. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this episode. It was different. It was more focused than what I normally would. A couple of time lapses. But you know, you could have been doing other things, but you watched the video instead. And thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your likes, your comments, your subscribes. They all mean a ton. They all help out a lot, and they're very encouraging. So once again, I want to express my appreciation for all that you guys do, all of your subscriptions and stuff, all of that. I'm rambling. I know, my apologies, but I'm grateful. I really am. So with all that said, thank you so much for watching me today. Thank you for joining in, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.